What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE News and Rumors for the week ending August 11th, 2013. Now, yet again, another slow week in regards to WWE News and Rumors. Same thing's been happening for the past 2 weeks. There's just not a lot of stuff going on right now in the WWE, but I got some important rumors going on. I got news on Sheamus. I got news on CM Punk and Lesnar. I got news on Triple H and Vince McMahon. I got news on Shawn Michaels. I got news on Goldberg. Of all people, I got news on Goldberg this week. But I'm going to try to make the best of it, guys. As you know me, I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on all this. And this is the absolute best source for all your WWE needs. Now, let's get right into it, guys. Like I said, I will make the most of it. I'm going to start off with the biggest story this week. I know if you guys watch Sean's View, he reported it on YouTube. It's been all over WrestleZone.com. PW Insider reported it. Sheamus is out of action for 6 months. He's out. He's going to be out for pretty much the rest of the year, okay? WWE has published an article noting that the MRI results indicated that Sheamus has suffered a torn labrum in his left shoulder and will definitely require surgery. Surgery is scheduled for next week, and he is expected, like I said, to be out of action for 6 months. WWE's report mentions that the injury occurred during the Money in the Bank All-Stars ladder match and was further aggravated over the following weeks. During that intense match, Sheamus was thrown off the top rope and sent crashing through a ladder at ringside, landing hard on his left leg and his left shoulder. That's all the report says. You want my honest opinion on this? And I'm going to be completely blunt and completely frank with you guys. I'm not going to miss Sheamus. I'm just not. His character was boring. His character was stale. They didn't know which direction they wanted to go with Sheamus as a face. You know, Sheamus as a face can work. Sheamus as a face and acting like a clown and telling jokes is not going to work. That's not the Sheamus that I want to see, fighting on major pay-per-views for World Heavyweight Championships. That's just not the Sheamus I want to see. He had lackluster matches with the Big Show. That one match that they had, that first match in the series of matches they had was great. I will admit that. It was a great match. But after that, leading and then to the Royal Rumble and then going into WrestleMania, he was just floating around, just without anything to do. And this is going to be a good thing for Sheamus' character, and it's going to be a good thing for his career, because I'll tell you why. He's going to come back stronger than ever. He's going to have the proper rest. He's going to have the proper relaxation. He's going to be away from TV. He's going to be home recuperating, and he's going to be refreshed. When he comes back to TV, he's going to be like a new guy all over again, like he just got called up to the main roster. His character needed a reset button anyway. All right, he needs to come back intimidating. He needs to come back as a strong face, because I don't think they should bring him back as a heel now that they're turning Randy Orton heel. He needs to come back intimidating. He needs to come back and just kick ass and not joke around and not clown around like we usually see. And Sheamus will be off to the running, and he'll be inserted right into that World Heavyweight Championship picture. And I can picture great matches upon returning with Ziggler. You know, I can picture great matches with Damien Sandow, because you know Damien Sandow is going to be thrusted into that World Heavyweight Championship picture. This is going to be good for Sheamus. I'm not going to miss him on TV. SmackDown is not missing him. He was going nowhere currently with his current character. This is going to be a good thing. So if you guys are Sheamus fans out there, don't worry about this. It's going to be good. Like I said, he's going to come back. He's going to be better than ever. And, you know, we may see him at the Royal Rumble, so who the hell knows? To follow up on an earlier video I did on WWE News and Rumors, The Undertaker not working SummerSlam, word is that the determining factor did not have to do with his health. Part of it had to do with his health, but the biggest factor was money. Money is what's keeping The Undertaker not wrestling at SummerSlam. The Undertaker realizes at this point in his career he doesn't have many matches left and couldn't justify doing a match on a major pay-per-view that was essentially a mid-card tag team match against The Shield. According to a source, Undertaker wanted a certain financial assurance on what his payoff would be. When he was unable to get those assurances, he chose to sit SummerSlam out. As of this writing, The Undertaker is expected to work WrestleMania 30 next year in New Orleans. Now, I agree with this, and then I don't agree with this article. The Undertaker is The Undertaker, okay? I just don't understand why WWE has the resources and the financial resources, I should say. They have the financial resources, the financial backing of Vince McMahon and all his fucking money. Give The Undertaker what he wants. I don't understand it. You already have Punk, you have Lesnar, and you have Cena, all in high-profile matches. You're telling me that The Undertaker wanted a certain financial assurance and that you wouldn't pay this man? I don't understand the logic in that. The man has already stated he wants to work with the Shield. The storyline was already going great. The Shield put him out in London. They powerbombed him through a table. They took The Undertaker out. I don't understand why the WWE would not want to continue this. Team him up with Kane. Reunion with the Brothers of Destruction would be great. It would be epic. It would be something the old school fans would essentially want to see. And against the biggest heel group in the company? That's just stupid to me. If you pair The Undertaker and Kane, that would have sold more pay-per-views to that old school fan who's been out of the product for a little bit. That would have brought them back for this one pay-per-view. Hey, you know what? I want to buy SummerSlam. Let me see The Undertaker and Kane. Let me see what these guys are up to. I used to watch back in the day, during the Attitude Era, when these guys were teaming up together, Brothers of Destruction. That's the mindset that I would have. But not to pay The Undertaker, who's probably the best of all time. That's just unfucking believable to my eyes and my ears. I just don't believe that. And I don't know how you guys would handle that. I don't know how you feel about The Undertaker. Undertaker is my favorite of all time. He's the best character in the WWE, the history of the WWE, and there will never be another Undertaker. Pay the man. Pay the man. WWE is already on a fucking downward spiral with this SummerSlam build. They had the cards in place. They had all the chips in place, right, out on the table. This SummerSlam could have been great. I'm sure it's still going to be a good card, but you're not going to have The Undertaker. I mean, you could have had Lesnar, Cena, Punk, Bryan, and you had Kane and The Undertaker versus The Shield. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. That's just fucking foolish right there. Unbelievable. I don't believe that's why. And it's something so fucking stupid like money. Give the man what he wants. He certainly deserves it. He certainly earned it. That's just stupid to me. Regarding CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, there are still a lot of questions about the finish of the match at SummerSlam, and there's no real answers as of now. One observer says they wouldn't be shocked solely into the hands of Triple H and Punk to call what is the best moving forward. I really don't know what the outcome is going to be. I haven't heard anything as of this writing. But I do know this, and I'm going to give you my opinion on this, and I'm probably going to cover my preview and predictions in the Monday Night Raw review next week. So look forward to that. But CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, I know for a fact several sources are indicating that CM Punk is still incredibly banged up. He's hurt. He needs more rest. He needs more time away from the product. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Brock Lesnar win this match and CM Punk take some more time off. He certainly deserves it. He certainly earned it. And I don't understand why you would have CM Punk beat Brock Lesnar anyway. You're not going to have CM Punk beat Brock Lesnar. It's just not realistic. Brock Lesnar needs to win this match. Brock Lesnar is a rental for 2 years. You can't have him lose to John Cena. You can't have him lose to Triple H. And then you can't have him lose to CM Punk. Yes, CM Punk is probably the best wrestler in the company, alongside Daniel Bryan, but Brock Lesnar is a fucking fighter. He's a UFC champion. Come on. Common sense. Common sense needs to be the one thing that's instituted here. Brock Lesnar needs to win this match. I don't see it any other way. But as for a finish, I don't know. I'm not hearing anything. I can't envision anything. I know it's going to be some kind of screwy finish with Paul Heyman, but I do expect Brock Lesnar to win this match at SummerSlam. WWE officials and Vince McMahon continue to go back and forth on opponents for Rob Van Dam at SummerSlam. A new name that has emerged lately is Fandango, which is the reason why they fought last week on Monday Night Raw. Now, as of today, I heard a completely different story. I heard Rob Van Dam is going to be placed on the pre-show and he's going to be fighting Antonio Cesaro. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me. I would definitely book Fandango versus Rob Van Dam at SummerSlam for a mid-card match. Have some kind of stipulation or something, maybe a number one contender for the Intercontinental title. I would like to see Curtis Axel versus Rob Van Dam. That would be a decent match. But Rob Van Dam on the pre-show is not what people want to see. Rob Van Dam is worth more than a pre-show. You're bringing him back because he's a high-profile name. He belongs on the SummerSlam card. He would make the card better. Nobody watches the pre-show. I don't. I'm sure half of you don't. But Rob Van Dam doesn't belong on the pre-show with Antonio Cesaro. I don't even think that Antonio Cesaro belongs on the pre-show, to be honest with you. He's working his fucking ass off. He deserves to be on SummerSlam, and he deserves that SummerSlam pay. But Rob Van Dam versus Fandango, I would actually be in favor of that over Cesaro instead of putting Rob Van Dam on the pre-show. It's not going to work for me. But that's what I'm hearing right now. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. The original plans for the current Daniel Bryan storyline was to do an angle that brought Shawn Michaels back to WWE TV and included him in the program with Daniel Bryan and the McMahons. The premise here would be Shawn saying, "I told you so," and that Bryan was his guy because Shawn Michaels is the one who trained Daniel Bryan. At this point, it does not look likely to happen, but we're still getting some talk this week backstage. That would be great. I think it's right now. It's a little bit too late for that. I don't see it happening at all. We're 1 week away from SummerSlam unless they pull a surprise on Monday Night Raw on Monday. But I figured I will let you guys know what the planned storyline was for this program with Daniel Bryan, Vince McMahon, and then obviously John Cena being involved. That was the plan, bringing Shawn Michaels back because Shawn Michaels and Daniel Bryan have a history. Shawn Michaels was the one to originally train Daniel Bryan as he was working up through the ranks to get to the main roster pretty much. But I figured that was an interesting story. What else do we got here, guys? I got news on Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg was in the news this week. He was on a radio show in Miami this past weekend, and he said he's open to returning to a wrestling ring. Goldberg is now 46 years old, but he says he keeps himself in fantastic shape. He said to be more open to returning now because his son watches his matches on YouTube. He mentioned wanting to come back as a heel, and he thinks Ryback is a total ripoff of his character, but has no ill feelings towards Ryback. Goldberg, excuse me, I'm fucking tongue-tied over here. Bill Goldberg recently also did a media tour about his upcoming DVD by WWE Studios and stated in interviews that he has always wanted to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's pretty interesting. I would love to see Bill Goldberg back. That's a name that would get people buzzing all over the internet community, all over the wrestling world, to see Bill Goldberg back in the WWE. But I know him and Triple H have a little falling out. They do not like each other, but if it's good for business, you know, the McMahons, Triple H, or anybody higher up in the WWE would be all over that. I certainly would love to see Bill Goldberg back in the WWE for a couple more matches, maybe a couple of WrestleManias. Let me know how you guys feel about that, but that's been going around lately. I don't know. To be quite honest with you, I do expect Bill Goldberg to come back at least for one more match, one more payday. It would be foolish for him not to. It would be foolish for Vince McMahon not to want him back. But we'll see what happens. But as of right now, I would love to see him back in the WWE. We noted before here on News and Rumors, WWE officials were wanting to do a Steve Austin versus Triple H match at SummerSlam, with Austin backing Vince McMahon in a fight for the control of the company at WrestleMania 30. The idea was proposed in creative but had never been agreed to. Word now is that match is completely off the books. It's not happening. No word yet on exactly what the idea is as of right now, but the whole match was nixed. The idea of The Rock in Austin's role has been talked about as well, so it would be The Rock versus Triple H. That's something I don't want to see. I don't care about that. At one point, the idea for SummerSlam was that Vince, Stephanie, and Triple H would unite, but later on in the year, they would split again, and Triple H would go heel. I do not want to see Steve Austin versus Triple H. I do not want to see The Rock versus Triple H. I just don't want to see Triple H against anybody, to be quite honest with you. The one person that would work well in this, and I've said it so many times, would be HBK. Get HBK out of retirement, and that's it. Triple H is on his last legs. He's going to retire eventually. There's only one man I want to see him fight before he retires, and that's HBK. I don't want to hear anybody else's name. The Rock needs to fight Brock Lesnar. Steve Austin needs to go against CM Punk, and that's it. That's your WrestleMania right there. I don't want to hear anything else. Cena versus Undertaker, Steve Austin versus Punk, Triple H versus HBK, The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. Greatest WrestleMania of all time. Book it. That's all I'm saying about that. Despite Diamond Dallas's page and his yoga, Jake Roberts is still campaigning for Roberts to be in the 2014 Royal Rumble in January. Word from WWE is that they are not even considering that right now and probably won't even consider it until early January. If anything happens, it would probably be a last-minute deal. Do I want to see Jake Roberts in the Royal Rumble? Yes. I am glad that he's working out with Diamond Dallas Page. I'm glad he's getting back in shape. I'm glad he's conquering his demons. I'm glad he's off drugs. I'm glad he's away from alcohol. He looks healthy. He looks great. We didn't need another death in the wrestling community. And Jake Roberts is doing his best. I know he had a little relapse. He fell off the wagon, and he had a few alcoholic beverages while DDP was away from his house. But he's back on track again. But 2014 Royal Rumble would be a perfect last hurrah for Jake Roberts. So hopefully WWE does consider that when the time comes. Kane is taking off this fall to film WWE's See No Evil Part 2. It's possible he will be finishing up after the Ring of Fire match with Bray Wyatt at Summerslam. The Ring of Fire match is indeed an Inferno match for those asking. It will be an Inferno match, but get this, guys, and you're going to be fucking livid with this. And I was scratching my head over this one. The Ring of Fire match is indeed it's an Inferno match, okay? But the idea of the Inferno match, you don't necessarily have to set your opponent on fire in the PG era. So you could win by pinfall in this match. You don't necessarily have to, set your opponent on fire, which would take away from the entire, reason for the match. Like, why are you going to have a referee in there with fire surrounding the ring? Why are you going to have a referee count the guy down 1, 2, 3? I mean, yes, it's for show. Yes, it's going to be great to see on TV. But if Kane is going to be the one going out and Bray Wyatt's going to eventually win this match, why doesn't Kane just set himself on fire? Have his arm set ablaze. I'm sure when he fought MVP and when he fought The Undertaker, he was wearing padding underneath his arm. He was set ablaze and just ran to the back. We don't need to see some spectacular finish, a big finish where he gets fully engulfed in flames. That's never going to happen. But I do want to see someone set ablaze. That's just me. That's the whole reason for the match. That's what WWE's talking about right now. So I was a little stunned when I heard that news. WWE's CM Punk required stitches in his chin after being opened up during Monday's episode of Raw with his brawl with Brock Lesnar. Punk's chin slammed into the top of Lesnar's head when he jumped off the announce table, which opened him up. I say this again, Punk is banged up. Punk needs time off. I fully expect Lesnar to win their match at SummerSlam. And I really think the WWE would be wise to give CM Punk some more time off so that he could recuperate his injuries, because he definitely seems to be banged up. And I don't know how you guys feel. Every time someone gets in the ring with Brock Lesnar, I just have a feeling he's just going to fucking kill them in the ring. Brock Lesnar is known for working stiff, and that's that. So every time someone steps in the ring with Brock Lesnar, I have a feeling something's going to go wrong. But that's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And finally, guys, Monday Night Raw this past week drew a final score of 2.96 cable TV rating, which is rounded up to a 3.0. That was up from the final number of last week's tape show. Raw averaged 4.178 million viewers, up 11% from last week. It was the most viewers the show has had since the May 20th episode of Monday Night Raw. That's surprising. Last week's show was a tape show, so the numbers were down by that. And this week, obviously, is going to be better than that because everybody knew it was a tape show. So I really don't take those ratings to be anything too serious. But the show was really not that good this week anyway. So what do you got? You have nothing to compare it on and base it on. Last week was a tape show, and this week was just bad. The crowd sucked. Everything about the show was bad, in my honest opinion. There was a few highlights. Then there was a couple of decent matches, like the main event, the 6-man tag with the Shield and John Cena, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. But other than that, I mean, the SummerSlam build has been awful, in my honest opinion. It's just very lazy. But like I said, they have nothing to base it on. Last week was a tape show, so it had to be up. That's your news and rumors this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, comment. You guys know what to do. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Skype. Everything's in the description. You guys know what to do if you guys want to follow me all over social media. If you have not checked out my latest videos, I have A new Let's Play up. Cheap plug on that. I would like to get that going. It's doing pretty well so far. I would like to see it do better. If you guys like RPGs, I'm playing Dragon's Crown. And then obviously I got my Black Ops 2 stuff. I just posted a new video about what I want to see from Call of Duty Ghosts next week at their big reveal for the multiplayer. So check that out. I'll be back on Monday, guys, or Tuesday rather, for the Monday Night Raw review. Until then, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.